learners. You are welcome to Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates.
Eko Learners Support, a support program of the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for WAEC and NECO candidates.
We will be looking at this topic that you are seeing on the screen, Placentation. It's going to be an interactive class. We'll be doing it together, right? Placentation. We have the following as our learning objectives. The first one is, by the end of this lesson, you are expected to define placentation. Wherever you are, I expect you to be able to define placentation. Then the second important aspects or objectives is for you to be able to state the types of placentation. Types of placentation. Then it is expected of you as a third learning objective to be able to describe each type. We will learn the types as well as understanding features of the different types. Then we need to state some examples. We want to look at the definition of placentation. Basically, placentation is a topic that we studied under reproduction in plants. Placentation. So, what do we mean by placentation? Basically, it is the arrangement of ovule in the ovary. Yes, you can hear me. Three important things there. Three very important things. The first one is arrangement. What are we arranging? Ovule. Where? In the ovary. Placentation is the arrangement of ovule in the ovary. What is an ovule? That represents the compartment of the gametes, sex cells in a female plant, female flower. Flower is found in plants. And what is ovary? Ovary is that compartment, that segment, that structure that contains the ovule. So arrangement of ovule in the ovary is known as placentation. It is stated here, ovule is the female gamete in flowering plants, whereas ovary is a place or that part of the plant where the ovules can be found. We want to look at the different types of placentation. I'm sure you have mastered the definition. That placentation is the arrangement of ovules in the ovary. We have 5 different types of placentation. 5 different types of placentation. Type 1 is called parietal. Type 1 is parietal. Type 2 is marginal. Marginal. Type 3 is axial. Type 3 is axial. Type 4 is free central. Free central. And the last type for study in this class is type 5, which is known as basal. Looking at what I have here, there is a spelling error. Biology is so serious with spellings. There is a spelling error. So the correct spelling is, so meaning this S has to be removed. This S, can you see the correct spelling here? Basal. So in a short while, we will be looking at each type and we'll make attempts to describe each type. Okay? Here I have pictures, images that represent or reveal the different types of placentation. Remember we mentioned axial as type 1. Did you follow it through? Okay. The second type was marginal. The third one was the axial. And the fourth type that was listed was free central, and the last type, basal, that we corrected the spelling. So here are the 5 pictures showing the 5 types of placentation. Here is still a continuation of the different types with labelings of some parts. With labelings on some parts, there is a kind of small exercise that you can engage yourself in. We have A as marginal, B as parietal. This is B, here is A, this is B, and this one is C. What do we have in C? Axial. This is D, free central. And finally, we have this as basal. And F, superficial. Superficial. Sometimes we consider it, sometimes we may not really focus on it, but it's still a type of placentation. Remember the definition, arrangement of ovules in the ovary. When you look at each structure, you will discover that each one has ovules. We may not see the ovary in its entirety, but we have a cut surface. So we are seeing the ovule, and we are seeing that they are packed. They have a structure that envelopes them. That is representing the ovary. All right? We want to consider how each type, features of each type. The first one that we'll be looking at is marginal placentation. Marginal placentation. Let's go back to the drawing, to the picture. When you look at this, is the marginal placentation. And when you look at it, here is an ovule, this is another ovule, we have yet another one. In this structure, we have, are you counting with me? 6 ovules, and they are wrapped up inside the ovary. But when you look at it, it's like they are arranged as the margin, and that is how the name marginal placentation occurs. What type of organism possesses this? Majorly in legumes. So we have it in flamboyant. We know that plant with very brightly colored flower. Flamboyant, Delonis regia. We have crotalaria. We have it in cassia. We have it even in beans. You know, when you have the beans, for those of you that love cooking fried rice, you collect your beans and you try to dice it or cut it. You will observe that you see like a seed inside, and it is an elongated region. That is a marginal placentation. The next type is parietal placentation. And in parietal placentation, we are saying the placenta or the ovule occur at the sides or the edge. Parietal. Here is the parietal. The structure here is the parietal. There's a difference between this and this other one. Okay? So when you look at the parietal, you will observe that the ovule, they are towards the sides or the edges. The next one is these are still further examples of marginal and the example of a parietal. We now come to axial. Here we have the carpel. What is the carpel? Carpel represents the female structure. Carpel of a flower is the female structure. That the carpel of a syncarpus, the one that comes together, ovary of a flower, that the ovary comes together and is divided into chambers which extend to form a placenta at the center or in the center where the ovules are attached. That one is called axial placentation. In our various homes, we have these examples are very common. The first one is tomatoes. Yes, get a strong tomato and cut in two. Cut its cross section, transverse section. You will see the inner part clearly. You can equally cut oranges, or if you have very strong pepper, you can cut them. Not the very strong one. Let me just leave it at that. The structure again of what? Axial. Then the next one that we'll be looking at is, here are examples of what I just explained. Okay? We are returning to the fourth type, which is what? Free central. Placenta occurring freely in the center. In this case, we will discover that the placenta, what happens to it? They occur freely in the center. Take a look at this example and look at the free central. You will come to understand that they are connected together. But here, at the center, it's like there is a kind of free space. And that is why this one is considered as an example of what? Free central. And the last but not the least type of placentation is the one that is called basal. This basal, we can call it apical placentation. Basal or apical placentation. In this case, what do we have? Ovules are attached to the base or apex of a synchromonous ovary. In an instance where the ovaries are joined together and you now have the ovules, they are attached either at the base. We have the base or apex. What do I mean by the base? The base, in these two examples, you can see this one is basal at the base, the lower parts. And that's what we mean by basal placentation. And the one we call apical placentation. Can you see this? Is there any difference between this and the two structures on the screen? Is there any difference? This occurs, the placentation, the ovule here is attached towards the base. And in this case, you have the ovule attached where? Towards the apex, the topmost part of the ovary. So this type, we call it what? Basal or apical placentation. In basal, what do we have? Attachment of ovules to the bottom of ovary. It has what? One local and no septa. There is no chamber. It's not separated. But in apical placentation, attachment of the ovule is at the apex of the ovary. What does it have? Like we have up there, one local, that is a small unit, and no septa. So we consider the various types of placentation. I'm sure you know the definition. I want you to try these exercises that is on the board, class activities. I'm giving you a minute or two, just a minute anyway, for you to try this out. What do I want you to answer? The first question, come along, let's do the reading together. Question number 1. What is placentation? What is placentation? I want you to quickly take your book, your biro. All right, write the meaning of placentation. The second question is, you have to mention 4 types of placentation. Remember, we considered 5. So it shouldn't be difficult for you to state 4 different types. And the last one that I want you to do is, you will indicate against these three fruits or crops. What are they? I have the beans, I have pawpaw, I have oranges. What do? I want you to indicate the types of placentation that we find in these different food crops or fruits. All right? I'm sure you are done. and you'll be waiting for us to go through the answers together. I have this as my own answers that I have prepared. I'm sure you are seeing my screen. Placentation is the arrangement of ovule in the ovary of a flower. Biology is an interesting topic or subject, pardon me. The spellings must be accurate. So I have to quickly correct the spelling of my ovule. The V was omitted. Okay? And the second question asks us to state 4 types of placentation. What are the 4 types? The first one is what? Free central. Do you have that in your own answer? The second one is marginal, and you can describe it. The third one is parietal. The fourth one that I have here is axial. All right, we have gotten the 4 types, and I wanted to write the 5th one. And the 5th one, which is not stated here, is basal. Basal placentation, or you call it apical. All right? How many of you scored everything? Wow, that is a good one. That is a good one. And the last question is, you have to indicate the types of placentation in these different plants, crops, or fruits. Beans is marginal. Beans, all beans products, legumes, they have marginal placentation. We have pawpaw. Attempt to cut pawpaw, you will observe that you have what? Parietal there. That the ovules, they are towards the sides. And finally, we have in oranges. Oranges has exact type of placentation. So with this, we have come to the end of the class. For comments, for observations, you can reach us through the social media handle that is on the screen. I guess you had a wonderful session in class, like I did. Thank you.
Acing your WAEC and NECO examinations has been made easy by the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education with the Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO Candidates television program. Join seasoned teachers as they take you through these core subjects: mathematics, English language, physics, chemistry, and biology, targeting the exact syllabus of WAEC and NECO. Watch Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates on this station. Learners can also connect with Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates through these social media platforms to access more educational content and give their feedback. Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. Pass your examinations with flying colors.